Good morning, students.
Morning, Miss.
Morning, Miss.
Good morning, Miss.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Great. How about you?
I'm well, thanks for asking. Well, students, I want to see your faces. So, for those who haven't turned on the camera, please turn it on so our class can be more interactive. And I want to make sure that you all pay attention to our class, our lesson.
I'm sorry, Miss. I think I cannot turn on my camera because I'm not feeling well today.
All right, no problem. Get well soon, Fadil.
Okay, Miss. Thank you.
Okay, now for captain of the class, please lead the prayer.
All right, everyone. Before we start the lesson, let's bow our head for a moment to pray to God. Amen.
Okay, thank you, Captain. Okay, class, is anyone absent today?
I think everyone is here, Miss.
Okay, it's great that everyone is here. Last meeting, we have learned about personal recount text, right? We have discussed about the generic structures and also the language features, right?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so our topic today is still about personal recount. However, it won't be in the written form anymore, but in the spoken form. Can you imagine that, students? Tell me, please.
Yes, Miss. I guess it will be just like your clue in the previous meeting, which is just telling account story.
Exactly, good guess indeed. So students, just like what I have told to you in the previous meeting, today we will practice recounting a personal story. You have made a personal recount text as your assignment, right?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Then, today you just need to retell your personal recount text in the spoken form. You will recount your story in front of your friends, but before, let me give you a video example about it. Let me share my screen first. Can you see my screen, students?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
All right. Please pay attention to this video as your example in recounting a personal story.
Hello there. My name's Matt. I'm only 15, but I've already felt what it's like to be a prisoner. Well, they arrested me for something that I hadn't done at all. This story started unexpectedly, quite unexpectedly. One day, I left my math tutor and I went home. The weather was fine. It was Friday, so I could breathe out and relax before the weekend. I turned on my favorite music, put on headphones, and walked along enjoying life. After a couple minutes, I saw my bus already standing at the bus stop. I was about to start off running. I decided I could catch it still and ran. But just one moment turned everything upside down. Suddenly, two policemen came running over to me, grabbed my hands, and put me on the ground. I didn't even understand what had happened. Because of the music in the headphones, I didn't hear them approaching me, and all this stuff just made me totally stunned. The police twisted my hands tightly, ordered me to freeze, and then led me to the police car. I tried to say something, I even made some excuses, but no one listened to me. I was pushed into the police car and was taken away to the police station. For a while, I just sat and I couldn't say anything. What's going on? I thought. Then I tried to explain to the police there must have been some kind of mistake because I didn't do anything. But nobody was going to listen to me. Again, at the police station, I was sent to a cell. At first, I was still trying to explain something, saying that some kind of mistake might have happened, but then I simply got tired. The situation literally crushed me. Some suspicious people were already sitting over there. When I saw their scary looks, my heart sank down. I hid in the corner and started waiting. The whole time I tried to understand why they would arrest me. So what had I done? Did they put me in a jail for crossing the street through the red light? Well, I just did that a couple of times, really. Though what nonsense. Or maybe it's all because of that fight behind the school building. But still, it was harmless, just a joke. I didn't even beat anyone for real. And why weren't the other guys arrested? Maybe I went over my head in all my actions over the past 6 months and couldn't understand what I did to be here. A little later, an old woman came. I saw her for the first time, but she waved her hands all the time, complained, and pointed her finger at me, saying something to the policeman. What? No, well, I certainly don't offend old ladies. I was sure. Well, I am sure. Maybe I didn't help her cross the road. Or, well, I don't know. I didn't leave a place on the bus for her. But when did that become a crime? Though I was ready to believe anything. But nothing changed. The police walked by, not paying attention to me. From the conversations, I realized that at night there was some serious crime. Someone was attacked with a knife or something like that, and now the whole situation was dealing with this. I sat all day trying to hold back my tears, and I already imagined how I'd be sent to jail for several years. And for what? Just because I didn't leave a seat on the bus or for a harmless fight after school? In the evening, that old woman came again. For the whole time, she pointed at me and complained about something. She explained something to the police for a long time. She cried and pointed at me again. I already decided that now everything would become even worse, and I even stopped listening. After all, what's the point? But then one of the policemen went to me, opened the door, and said I could be free. I didn't believe my ears. I freaked out. I went outside. The neighbors in my cell looked at me angrily. The policeman took me to an office. I crossed the threshold and was freaked out even more. There was a guy who looked like me. He had handcuffs. Of course, we were far from twins, but it wouldn't be easy for one with poor eyesight to distinguish us. The old woman complained all the time. She almost cried, apologizing to me. I looked at her, not understanding what the matter was. I was still shocked. They told me the story. On that ill-fated day, a thief broke into the house of this old woman. She returned home just when he was getting into her jewelry box and was about to escape. Of course, the woman shouted and started to call the police, but the thief pushed her in the doorway and ran out into the street. Already in the street, the police joined the woman, and all would have been fine, but it happened in the very street I was walking along after the class with my tutor. It seemed like something unreal. The old woman's eyesight was poor, and she could describe the thief only in some general details. As bad luck would have it, the thief looked like me. When the police and the woman ran out into the street, they saw me running. Of course, they decided I was the thief.
All right, that's the example of recounting a personal story, students. Do you enjoy it?
Yes, Miss.
Yes.
What do you feel when watching the video of Matt in recounting his personal story, students?
I think I feel entertained.
Okay, you feel entertained. Let's just remember the social function of recount text, which we have learned. It is to tell past events or experiences in a chronological order for the purpose of informing or entertaining. Then here, you feel entertained when watching the video. It means that the video of recounting personal story matches the social function of recount text, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Miss.
I expect that you can do the same later in your practice. I expect that you can entertain or inform your friends with your story of personal experience. Okay, now it is about WH questions. Who is in the story, students?
Matt is.
Great. It is Matt, a 15-year-old boy. Then what happened to him?
He was arrested by the police even though he was innocent.
Very good. He was arrested by the police for something that he didn't do. Then when did it happen, student?
On Friday when he was enjoying his weekend, Miss.
Lovely. You can find the two there. It was on Friday when he was enjoying his weekend. Next, Where did it happen, student?
It happened on the street near a bus stop, Miss.
Very good. All right, students. In the very beginning of the story, we can know about who is in the story, what happened to the person, when the story happened, and also where did the story happen. So actually, what part of recount text we are talking about?
I think it's about orientation, Miss.
Excellent, Udin. We are talking about the first generic structure of recount text, which is orientation. Then, what is the generic structure of recount text after the orientation, students?
Reorientation, Miss.
Reorientation, are you sure? Well, remember, in recount text, we have three generic structures. So, before reorientation, it must be
Series of events, Miss.
good series of events. Here are the series of events. He was walking, enjoying his weekend, and then he was arrested for something that he didn't do, and then he was jailed with several inmates. After that, the woman who reported him came to the police office, and then in the next day, the woman who reported him came again, and he was released. Then in the last, we have a closing which tells us that the police caught wrong thief which has face like Matt. So what part is that, students?
It is reorientation, Miss.
Great, Ingrid. Well, students, it is reorientation. In practice recounting your story, I hope that you can use the knowledge that you have learned to entertain your friends. Also, don't forget to use the proper language features of recount text in recounting your story. Can you mention the language features of recount text that we have discussed in the last meeting? Tita, can you mention them?
Yes, Miss. It is past tense, time sequence, descriptive words, and conjunction.
Lovely. So we have four language features. However, the thing that you have to pay attention the most and underline is that the use of past tense and time sequence. Okay, now for the next activity, I will divide you into two groups. Group 1 consists of Noval, Inggit, Udin, and Laili, and then Group 2, Fadil, Faisal, and Nabila Iftitah. Then each group will enter the breakout room. We just have about 7 minutes for the breakout section. So it means that each student must perform recounting personal story in 1.5 or 2 minutes. When waiting for your turn, you must pay attention to your friend's story because you will be doing a peer assessment where you have to assess your friend's performance. I will send the assessment sheet in our WhatsApp group for you to fill. After the class, you have to submit it again to me by personal message. Is that clear, students?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
So I listened to the song and I was really enjoy when I was in the train. After 5 hours in the train, finally I arrived in Yogyakarta. Also my new life in Yogyakarta, and I was really excited to start my new adventures in my new city.
Hello, students. Is everything going well?
Yes, Miss. We just finished the first turn.
All right, good. Who is the next?
Me, Miss.
Okay, you can start, lady.
Well, friends, I will tell you about my holiday experience in Malaysia. So last holiday, my family was on vacation. We went to Malaysia. We used travel agent to manage our holiday. We had booked 2 days tour in Malaysia. We went there by plane. The travel agent had booked ticket for us. The flight was only 1 hour from Jakarta. On the plane, the cabin crews were very
After that, I played with my cat. In the afternoon, I had a lunch, and after that, I took a nap. And in the evening, I watched until I felt boring. My daily activities were like that during the holiday. So I was sure last holiday was my worst holiday.
Hello, students.
Hi,
Hello,
Miss.
Miss.
Now, what order are you in?
I think we will go to the last term, Miss.
Okay, that's good. Do you have any problem?
No, Miss.
Okay, go on.
Okay, I think this is my turn now. So I will tell you my personal recount. Uh, I will tell you about my memorable day in Jakarta. Last month, my family and I went to Jakarta. We visited many places there. First, we visited Ragunan Zoo. We saw many kinds of animals. We saw many kinds of animals there, such as lion, birds collections, butterfly collections, and many others.
Have all of you performed and gave score for your friends, students?
Yes, Miss, we
Yes,
have.
Miss.
All right. Is there any problem, question, or maybe something to share for today's lesson?
I
No,
think
Miss,
we
I
are doing
think
fine.
everything is clear.
Do you have something to share about what we have learned today?
Miss,
Yes, please.
I think today we have learned about how to use recount text in a prepared way based on a correct structure. And we also have practiced it in our friends, and they also give response, including critics and suggestions.
Great. Is there any other?
I think that's it, Miss.
Okay, good job. Well, students, we have practiced speaking today. Speaking ability is very important, especially in English. It will show your skill level, which will make you more professional. So keep the enthusiasm to practice your speaking skill. Since you have done a very good job today, so I give no homework for you, but please read your book page 35 up to 45 to prepare for the next material. Next meeting, I'm going to ask each of you some question about that. I think that's all for today. Don't forget to send me the grade that you have given for your friends. Thank you and see you, students.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Miss. See you.